If you liked today's video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, and share.
Hi everybody, my name is Leigh and I'm coming to you today from Personal Development with Leigh. This is my first video. I'm very nervous, so please bear with me. So I feel very inspired today to make this video because I've run across something that I feel like will help you, because I know because it's been helping me. So first off, I just want to tell you a little bit about my story. So I've been a big fan of personal development all my life. I've read a lot of different books. I've done a lot of different things to try and better my life. So of course I was a big follower of the law of attraction. I mean, I still am. And so I've tried a lot of different things. I followed like Steve Pavlina. He's a big, if you don't know who he is, he's a big guy on the internet, and he actually has videos on YouTube as well. But he writes a lot of articles and he talks about a lot of personal development topics. I followed also Melody Fletcher, Deliberate Receiving. If you don't know who she is, it's the same thing she does, personal development. She has a blog and she also has YouTube videos. So those are a couple of the people I followed. I've read all types of books on personal development, and I'm into a lot of tapping. The tapping worked, it works really well, but I was still finding myself having a lot of blocks when it came to manifesting what I wanted. So what would happen is I would manifest like things on the fly, like things that, like for instance, I may want to see a specific movie, and then days later the movie will show up on TV, specific things like that. But other than that, it's been hit or miss for me with personal development. A little bit of my backstory. I come from a really jacked up family. We're very dysfunctional on both sides of my family. And so I had recently, I think it was through the tapping, and because of the tapping, I had let go of a lot of baggage and a lot of pain and a lot of hurt. And so people were starting to come back into my life. Like for instance, I have a sister on my father's side where we had been estranged because I had tried to form a relationship with her and have a relationship with her, but for some reason, she didn't want to do it. So I had let that go and just put it out of my mind. And then with my father, he and I have been on and off. Like we'll go for a little while and talk to each other, but then we would stop talking to each other for like a couple of years. So then I had a friend that I was really good friends with when I lived in New York City when I was younger, when I was a teenager. And she and I were really tight. She was like my best friend. And we had a falling out. And she had come back into my life. So all of these things started to happen, and I was like excited. I was happy. I was like, okay, the tapping's happening, it's working. And the personal, development, it was starting to work, because I know with tapping and with anything, you have to get rid of a lot of the baggage. You have to clean up your energy in order to be in the flow and be able to begin to manifest the things that you want. So, like I said, I was happy about them returning, and things were going along smoothly. And then all of a sudden, it was just like everything started to break down. So like, my father and I, we had some issues about, the way that he was treating me. So I had to let that go. I had to let my relationship with him go. Then my sister, who had just come back, all of a sudden she was calling me like on a regular, like several times a week. And then all of a sudden she stopped calling me. So, and then after that, my friend that had come back from New York, and all of a sudden, it just wasn't. In my mind, I guess I had expected us to fall back into our old rhythm that we had when I was in New York, but then she wasn't calling me, and I couldn't get on the phone, and it would be like all these long days of us not speaking to each other. And so all of these things converged together at one point, and it broke me down, and it made me upset, and it made me question a lot about my life, and a lot about the reason why I'm here and what's going on, because I've always had problems in my relationships with people. And so you always hear people talk about how you have to love yourself, and so I would hear people tell me that all my life. But as I'm sure you know, people will offer you solutions to your problems when you talk about them, but they might not tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get there. Like, people will tell you, oh, you're having such and such and such problem with this person, forgive them and let it go, but they don't show you how to do it or tell you what you would need to do in order to go about that. A few months prior to all these things happening, I had run across a topic or heard somebody say something about mirror work. I had read an article. The lady in the article was describing how she was able to really, really love herself. Like, she had this strong surge of love for herself once she started doing it. So I said, okay, let me try it. She said that she would do, I think, 10 or 11 minutes. So I started off doing that. And so she said what she would say is, I love you. I see you. You're beautiful. I love you. So I started off doing that. I was looking for the results, but I never did see what it was I was looking for. So fast forward to a few weeks ago, when all this stuff started to happen with me and my family. I just got sick of everything, because I just felt like at that point in my life that nothing was working in my life. And so I said, something's got to change. I have to do something. Otherwise, what's the point of me being here? What is the point? And I'm like, because all of my relationships can't be jacked up like this. So I said, you know what? I gave myself some time, and I sat with myself for about a week and really sat down and thought about what was going on in the relationships, the 3 relationships that I just described to you. Suffice it to say, to make a long story short, I just felt like I wasn't being loved by my father the way I should be. And then, because me and my sister me and my father had the falling out, me and my sister was calling me, like I said, several times a week. And it was good, and I was loving the relationship, and I was happy, and I was grateful. But then all of a sudden, when me and my father had our disagreement, then my sister just stopped calling me. She just stopped. So I just was fed up, and then, like I said, with my friend, I love her to death. I love her dearly, but I felt like we weren't connected the way I thought we were. So that could be, on me, my expectations. But I feel like if I'm really going to be, if someone's really going to be in my life, and I'm really going to be in someone else's life, they should, I should give my all, and I feel like they should too. But, everybody thinks differently. And I had come to the realization like a few weeks ago that the things that I wanted in life weren't manifesting is because I lack self-love. And so, or I lack self-love on the level that it should be on in order for you to manifest. So that's what led me to the mirror work, looking at the information on mirror work and trying it the first time. Now, I'm the type of person where when I try something, I need immediate results. Otherwise, I'm not going to want to continue on with that. So I said, okay, I'm going to try this again. I said, but this time I'm going to really go in and really, I'm going to discuss things with myself that I feel like need to be discussed, and say things to myself that I feel like need to be said. So I started doing it maybe after like the third or fourth day. I cannot explain to you. I don't know if I can put into words the feeling. The love started to appear, and it was amazing. You know, I after I would do, I meditate as well, and after I would do the mirror work, I felt better than I felt when I would meditate. And like I said, just the feeling, I can't describe it to you. It's like I never knew you could be in a body on earth and feel like this. That's all I can explain. I'm crying. It's tears of joy. It's not tears of sadness. And I felt like this all day. I felt like I was like high on a drug, like very heady. But I felt like how you feel when you first realize you're in love with someone. That's what I felt like. But it felt even better than that. If you can imagine that. And so I also felt like my mind had been scrubbed clean. I felt like something had actually gone into my mind and scrubbed out all of, some of the jacked up energy or thoughts or whatever that was in my mind. And I feel, excited about life. I lay in the bed after I do my mirror work and I just cry. I cry like a baby with joy at how I feel. And so I feel inspired, and I feel like I need to tell y'all about this because I didn't want to be here, because of the things that have been happening in my life. And I feel like I need to tell y'all this so that, if it helps one person, then I feel like my job is done. But I hope it helps more than that. I hope it helps all of you. But do the mirror work. It helps if you get into it and you give it your all and you really sit there and you really speak to yourself and you tell yourself how you feel and you tell yourself that you love yourself and you really like tell yourself all the things that you wish other people would tell you, because it's about in here. It's about loving yourself. You have to love yourself first. And I'm telling you, the world will look completely different to you after you do this. Because, like I said, I'm all about personal development and, manifesting and wanting to have this wonderful life. But I realize you have to love yourself first. But like I said, people tell you that, and I've known that all my life. But no one, not a lot of people, let's put it like that, not a lot of people tell you how to do it. So I want to tell you how to do it. One of the ways, it's not the only way. There are other things you can do. You can work on things that you love. Like me, I dance. And the only other time I felt the way that I felt, that anything that's come close to how I felt since I've been doing mirror work, is when I dance, because that's what I was put here for. That's what I love to do. But nothing else to me has come close. I've smoked weed before, tried different things, but nothing has come close to it. Nothing has come close to making me feel this good about me and about myself. So if you're out there and you are struggling, I'm sending out my love to you, and this is my love letter to you to let you know that you matter. You matter. And there may be people in your life who take you for granted and don't care about you, but like I said, who cares? Love yourself first. If you love yourself, all that other stuff, in the scheme of things, it doesn't even matter. Love yourself first, and then we can work on the other stuff. So the other purpose for me making this video is to let everyone know that I will be starting to add videos to this channel about different personal development books, because I love them. and I love going through that. What I want to do is pick a book. I'll pick a book every month, and then we can go through it together. I will upload a video every time I do a chapter, and we will go through it together so we can get through it together. So the first book that I'd like to do is by Louise Hay, and of course it's called Mirror Work, because I was, it's 21 days to heal your life, to know how it will work out having a guided process like this.